Hello, this is Lolly, and this is the first part of the series of doing this December Daily pocket binder. Excuse me, not pocket binder, but pocket journal. And for this one, I had gone out on a limb and assembled a few kits for those that would want to play along and use the same materials I was using. Also, look to the link down below. I'll show you what's in the kit, which is sold out, and there's also a link for where you can get the materials for this. I mean, not the ribbons and things I assembled, but just the general papers for this, in case you were interested. So this was part of the kit, and that was just a hole punch guide. But since I do have a 2-hole punch, I'll be using that. If you have a kit or anything similar, I would advise you to take out these 3 sheets first, so that these can be cut up and used as little embellishments. I want to take this for my cover and the doily for my cover. This has the little ho 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 Santa on it, very cute. Now for the covers, and I gave you enough in the kit for this, for the covers I recommend having 2 sheets of cardstock glued together, which is why I gave you extra, but it gives you a little firmness. Or if you'd like, you could cut a 6-inch square piece of like a cereal box and sandwich that between them, or even chipboard. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to go with this for now. And I have these in there, which are the pockets. Set those up here. Okay, so keep in mind that as you're working this, I'm going to give ideas and suggestions for those with and without a kit, or with and without tools, so don't feel like this is something that you can't do. My whole goal in doing this one was to make you feel more comfortable with the decision-making process and just putting it together. I think we overthink ourselves sometimes, and the decision process gets too hard. For this, I am going to punch my holes first. Make sure your pattern is upright on this. This is a solid, so it won't matter. I have my 2-hole punch set at 6, and that way I know exactly where I'm going. So one of the things that I thought about I could do, or you can do too, I'm going to mention things that you might not have, because this is a kit. It's a basic kit. I mean, in that you can always add more to it and more embellishments. When gluing these two together, think about something you could put in between the layers, like a piece of lace sticking out, and I'll show you what I mean. So I would think flat lace would be the best, but you can use whatever you have. Now this is super wide, so what I would do in this case would be to cut it thinner, narrower. So you would glue part of it on here with it sticking out, and then glue this on there. And this gives you that little lace border right there. So again, it's just a little extra if you have some lace at home of any color that would match this kit. Don't feel limited to just white or red or green. Okay, so here's another thing I'm thinking. So you can also use hole reinforcers for this. You could also use eyelets to make that stronger. You could use something like this, which is the We Are Memory Keepers hole reinforcer, just as an example. And I'm using a craft color one, just to show you could glue that on there, just to give a little strength right there where the ring is going to be. So what I decided I want to do on mine, and they're not all perfect, because you know these are all hand cut, so you may have to trim little excesses. I've noticed that the some of the papers in the Doodlebug weren't cut perfectly, and they have a little tiny strip of another pattern there, but it's, if you notice, it's also excess, meaning it's not even, it's beyond the 6 inches. So if you trim that off, you're not going to be losing any of the design. Okay, so one thing I'm thinking is making this thing a pocket by just gluing it on this way. So in that case, I would probably need to put a little thumb notch in here. Now I have this is a 1 1/4 inch punch. You do not need to do that. All you need to do is like take a bottle or a cup and trace that around there. I'm going to make my thumb notch so that it's in the middle between the holes in here. just 2 3/4. And then to make that thumb notch, kind of center this over the pencil mark, but don't go further than halfway in. There you go, just like that. And now on the back, let me get my, there. You'll see the little tree line right there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so as I glue this, and this is just my choice, I decided to make this a pocket instead of gluing it entirely on, but I want it, again, I want these holes stronger, so I'm going to glue all the way around these holes first. And then I'm going to glue over here. I'm using Scotch Tacky glue. You can use your liquid glue of choice, but to make pockets, I really don't advise double-sided tape because it never dries. It will always be gummy every time that you go to put something in the pocket. It's going to feel sticky. So what I did was I lined up those holes. And I can see that I have a little strip here, and that's okay. There we go. So now this part here that has the holes is glued solid, so that is a nice strong reinforced area. But I do think I am going to use my hole reinforcers. I really wasn't sure, but since I punched them out, I might as well, right? Okay, now the thing I know I want to do is I want to use this doily on the front, and this is a Doodlebug doily as well. It's a little translucent, you can see through it. It's a very thin doily, most doilies are, and so, but don't worry about this. What you can see the sand is because we're going to put something over that. The other thing that came in the kit that I really like is this felt sticker jumbo rickrack, and I have cut my ribbons and etc. larger than you need so that you can kind of get it on there and trim off the excess as opposed to it being too short. I like this because I feel like it looks like icing on a gingerbread man. Let's peel that sticker off. I'm going to turn this so I can see what I'm doing. Don't stretch and pull as you lower it because it will stretch out of shape. Now, I've never worked with this sticker rickrack before, so we'll see how well that holds up. It feels very strong right now. I do want to put this on, and if we use liquid glue, just be very sparing because if you use too much glue or use it thickly, your doily will get all warped. So one of the things I think I'm going to do, if you have one of those little handheld tape runners, that would be great. I like using them for the center. But be very careful because these are delicate and they would tear if we pull too much on them. So here's what I'm using is the ATG, but I also want to get, I just did that for the center, but I want to get some of this liquid glue around the very edges here. I'm going to plop that sort of in the middle, and I'm judging the middle by somewhere between these two holes. There we go. Alrighty. Now, another thing that we have in the kits are these bags of what Doodlebug calls odds and ends, and it's huge. Now, first of all, let's back up. I would advise you to keep this big Ziploc bag here even after you're done using this kit because it's a really great bag. Now, with these, sometimes you might want to take these out and put them in your own resealable bag because these little sticky things, the insides get all stuck in it. I folded mine over, and I want to pull this out because I want to see, I'm looking, I think Santa might go on the front, and if there's room, I could put him and Mrs. Claus here, barely, but I think I may have to put one down and elevate the other, or do it like this. They'll just fit that way. I could elevate them both. I just really like them being on the front there. I think that kind of gives a a great feel to the whole thing. Just kind of breezing through here. And there's also a lot of little things like hearts you're going to find in here, so there's plenty to play with. So let's look at this. I'm not even sure I want this present there, but I think I do. So if you don't have any foam tape, just glue these down. If you do have foam tape and want to use it, it's a great thing to use it for. So it's optional. That's what I want you to get. This is your kit, your project. You do what you want. You can choose different papers than I chose throughout the project. Just because I use a paper on the cover or somewhere else doesn't mean that's the one you need to use. Put her down here and him up a little bit. And then if I come back and think I want to put December daily or 2018 on the top, I can do that. And if you don't like your handwriting, write it out on a computer and print it out. And I do that a lot for projects that I have. I write it on the computer and print it out. Also, look through your Christmas embellishments if you have, because like I said, there's going to be plenty of room to add other ephemera, other decorations. Okay. Now, I wasn't trying to make this look like they were staining on anything. I'm just kind of putting them on there like that. Make sure you don't lose the insides by putting this in your bag upside down. And the other thing I want to look at is in this bag here, I have this little candy cane foam sticker, and it looks to me like that would fit right there almost perfectly, and I think it just gives a little extra added cuteness. It's not a perfect match, but it works. There we go. Very cute. And now we also have these, which are they're Doodlebug sprinkles. Their enamel dots are wonderful. I love them. And so I'm looking at his little hat here and thinking I want one of these on his hat, or it could even be one of those, but I think I want the white. And what I was going to suggest too is if you have any white pom-poms in your stash, that would be a great place to put a pom-pom. I also noticed she has earrings, and I could use these for her earrings. Totally up to me or up to you if you want to do that. Or we could put little fake diamonds there for her earrings. So if you have anything like that, that would be cute. Okay, so let's turn this over, and we're going to also look through here. So what we do is look at the day. This is going to be day 1 back here. So the purpose of this, I called it pockets. The purpose of this is to have a pocket on every page to put a journaling card and or photos. So what I want, my goal, is to be able to stick 2 things in the pockets and not have to glue a photo or glue a journaling card onto here. So I'm giving myself room. I could still put a photo here, but I still want this pocket. So what I'm looking at is what would look cute with this, and I think this would do it right here. Now I see I need to punch another hole in there, so let's do that. That way. I've got it that way. I've got the hole punched right there. I think that is so cute. It's up to you where you put your tag, for the day. You could glue it on the side and make a tuck spot here plus the pocket. The other thing I would like to do is I like to decorate the edges of my pockets. So I could, again, put more lace across the top. Very cute. I like that. Let's do this time. Let's fold down, let's see, this is a 3-inch pocket. Let's fold down 3/8 of it. Oops, I should have turned it over, but it still works. And it gives just a little bit of extra decoration there. And we could still put lace sticking out from here so that when you close that, you've got lace sticking out. That's very cute. I like that a lot, and I think I might go with it. So, again, I'm going to be doing different things just to show you the possibilities. Don't feel like you have to do every single thing that I do. I've gotten most of my lace from thrift stores, so yeah, I have a good stash of it. I like flat lace for edging like this. Okay, and the glue I'm using for this is Fabri-Tac, but if you have any kind of tacky glue, like Eileen's or something, that would work as well. So what I need to do, I'm going to put paper glue right here in the crease, and the fabric glue along the edge of the lace here. So if you do not have a scoreboard, don't worry about it. I mean, for years I used a ruler and a pencil, and I measured in how far I wanted to fold, drew a line, and then I put the ruler there, and then I just pushed across that with something hard and plastic and thin. And that gave me a nice little fold there, so you don't have to have a bone folder. Okay, now we have our first pocket, and we're going to glue around the edges. And if you feel nervous about that hole there, you can always glue around that as well. Now, one thing, these could be done with these. There's going to be one for every day. You could adhere it sticking out like a little tab, but then you would also have this from the other side, which is totally okay. They've got this pattern on the back. So it's up to you how you want to do that. Or you could maybe only do the ones that are on this side sticking out. Now, he could go here, he could go up here, wherever you want to stick this guy. I think I'm going to put him here. You could also trim it down a little bit. I think I'm going to stick him here and make it a little tuck spot by gluing, well, I know what I'll do. I'll glue the side and the bottom of him, and then he will hold something else. Some other little treasure. I'm going to move him in just a little bit so that I see the little brown edge around him. I chose the brown paper based on him. I think he is adorable. And again, I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, could there be any other embellishment on here? And of course there could be. He's got little black eyes. You could put stickles on his eyes, on his little pink belly buttons, these little buttons here. You could put Nouveau crystal drops on there. You could put little flat back pearls on him. Whatever you have in your collection is what you could put on him to give him a little extra decoration. So I have the tuck spot here. I've got my pocket there. And I have this big pocket here, which would hold several photos, okay? And there's my cover. So if I turn this over, and with me, when I'm done with the project and I see what supplies I have left, then I decide I can go back and put more embellishments on there. Right now I'm seeing how well these all hold out, and for now I might just leave this as it is. But we also have any scraps that you have can be used to be made into further tags and things. I'm looking through the kit right now because I know what I'm looking for. Oh, I know. Hold on. I have to go get it. Now, one of the things you're going to find in your kit as well are these. As I was cutting apart all the papers for these kits, I had scraps of paper left over that I scored, and you can use as tags by inserting them in your pockets as you go too. And we will be decorating a couple of these as we go. Okay, so be thinking about other embellishments, ephemera, little things you want to tuck into the pocket. You received one of these in your kit, and everyone's is different of these. So there's just an idea. We get a lot of Christmas tags around here. I noticed in, you know, Christmas time, there's just so much to be found, like at Hobby Lobby. So, for example, there's another one. So look through your collection, look through your die cuts, look through whatever you have, and see what you have that can be put in there. Okay, so that is the basis for the cover and page 1 right here. Then the next video, we're going to move on to page 2 and 3, etc. We'll see if we can get further than just doing 2 pockets per day, because I think we can, because they're going to be pretty easy. And then in the end, we're going to come back and use the rest of our embellishments to put them in here. So we've got some things to play with. I know, for instance, let's see here. Let's do this. In here, we do have, these are die cuts, and I had cut out. Do want to grab one of these, I think. There's a little heart. I am going to go ahead and use this heart now. I think it might go down here. I like it better there. And I'm doing it at an angle. And I'm going to grab a snowflake and layer that right over that. So if you haven't done it already, get out your embellishments. There we go. Get out your embellishments for Christmas and see what you have. Get out your laces, anything else that you want to add, and you'll, if it's sitting next to you on the table as you're crafting, you'll be more likely to pick it up like I just did with the Santa Claus here, and to say, well, does that work on there? You know, do I like that in that one pocket? So that's just some thoughts and some ideas as we proceed forward with this. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you look down at all the links down below, because I've got several things to share with you there. And thank you. Let's get going. And I'm so excited because Doodlebug is as cute can be.